sister-in-law tried to rename my baby behind my back, so I brought proof to the party. When my husband and I told family we were naming our son Kai, my sister-in-law Jessica laughed and said, "No, you're not." She said we had to use Michael after her late father. I thought it was a bad joke. Then she brought it up at the next dinner, and the one after that, acting like the name was her decision. She kept saying Michael was strong and classic, and Kai sounded foreign and trendy. She said our son would get judged by schools, jobs, everybody. At first, my husband told her to calm down, but he still thought she was just being annoying. Then she started printing articles about baby names and leaving them on our car. Some were highlighted, some had sticky notes. One said, "You still have time to fix this." Another said, "Think about his future." I came out of work one night and found a stack tucked under the wiper like a ticket. A few days later, she somehow got past reception at my office and cornered my boss in the break room. She told him I was making irresponsible choices for my unborn child, and maybe someone older should talk sense into me. My boss awkwardly asked me later if everything was okay at home. I wanted to disappear. That was the moment my husband stopped defending her. He called and told her to stay out of it. She cried, said she was only trying to help, then got worse. The next morning, she texted me 6 baby name lists before 8 a.m. like nothing had happened. She started calling relatives, saying we were disrespecting family and refusing to honor her father's memory. She posted long rants online about how some names have dignity and some are selfish choices. Then she made a private Facebook group called Prayers for Baby Michael and invited relatives we barely knew. Suddenly, I was getting messages asking why I was rejecting heritage. One aunt asked if pregnancy hormones were making me irrational. My husband left the group. Jessica added him back. He left again. Then she started showing up at my prenatal appointments. The first time, I walked into the waiting room, and there she was with a coffee and a baby name book, smiling like this was normal. She said maybe we could talk privately before I got called in. I turned around and asked the receptionist not to let her back again. At the next appointment, she came again anyway, and started telling another pregnant woman that unusual names only make life harder for kids. The receptionist had to remove her. After that, she began leaving care packages on our porch. Nice gift bags with tissue paper and ribbon. Inside, there would be baby books opened to Michael, wall art with Michael in blue script, and little notes about how disappointed her father would be if we didn't honor him. One bag even had a pacifier clip with a giant stitched M on it. My husband started tossing them straight into the trash. Then Jessica called my mother sobbing that I was rejecting American values and turning my back on everything family stood for. My mother called me completely confused and asked, "Why is she acting like Michael is your family name?" It wasn't. It was Jessica's maiden name, not mine, not my husband's, not our baby's. But she had worked herself into this fantasy and dragged everyone else into it. Then came our gender reveal. Jessica had begged to help plan it, and for most of the party she acted perfectly normal. She smiled for pictures, passed out plates, and told people how excited she was. Then, right when we were about to cut the cake, she stood up and tapped her glass. The whole room went quiet. She said she had one special gift before the big moment, a perfect compromise for the whole family. Then she handed me a big gift bag wrapped in blue ribbon. I started thinking maybe she'd finally let it go. Inside was a custom onesie with Baby Michael stitched across the front in huge dark blue letters. Everyone just stared. My husband's face turned bright red. Jessica stood there smiling like she had finally won in front of 30 people. I smiled back and said, loud enough for everybody to hear, "Jessica, this is so thoughtful. After all your hard work, we did decide to honor tradition." Her whole face lit up. Then I pulled out my phone and showed everyone the name registration documents we had filed with the state that morning. I held up the screen and said, "Everyone, meet Kai Michael." For 1 second, she just stared at me. Then a few people gasped, someone laughed, and her smile dropped completely. She grabbed her purse and stormed out, leaving the onesie behind on the table. Now my family is saying I embarrassed her badly. Was I wrong?